should like teach them, man. Teach them about the First Amendment. Nah, I'm not committing no crime. Come on, you know the academy and shit. They don't teach you nothing at the academy. They don't teach you about the Constitution. Did you learn about the Constitution at the academy?
You know that's got to do. You got to be 70.
6 weeks, you learned about that? That's something bugging. Yo, brush up on your law. Suspicion is not a crime. Brush up on the First Amendment, alright? Not everybody's a fucking criminal. Asshole. Yo, these niggas is bugged out, bro. Yo, keep these cars clean, you heard? I pay good money for these cars. Unlock the door for your partner. And learn the Constitution.
XFWO starts right now.
Right now in GMSA, a shooting on the east side sends 3 people to the hospital, and now neighbors are turning on each other over who's responsible.
And let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. 68 degrees to start your Sunday morning. Will we see rain? How warm can it get today? We're going to check in with Sarah's Bobby in just a few moments. For now, good morning. It is 6 o'clock this Sunday.
Intel and leadership that inspires the world. The second thing we need is a people. We need a country that pulls itself out of its self-obsession, its politics of me. We need a unified citizenry and let's realize this. The pleasant world that they've grown used to denigrating is about to come to an end unless they act. 3. Like 3. Have an extra. I always have an extra finger with me. You never know. 3. It's like a stunt finger. 3. A media, a sober-minded industry whose priorities are based on authentic but not symbolic concerns. Enough solemn portraits of the whiny co-eds weeping over hurtful words. Imagine if during World War II, instead of covering Adolf Hitler, you focused solely on the peekaboo bangs of Veronica Lake. That's a reporter amplifying campus crybabies over Islamic terror. They're missing the story of their lives. And it will cost them their lives. 4, a defense. 4, a defense. Not talking about a national defense. That goes without saying. We should have the strongest, greatest. You know it. Nor do I mean gun ownership, which also, by the way, goes without saying. Let us not forget that the cops usually end up arriving there after it's already happened. We need to protect ourselves. The kind of defense that I am talking about is a new education, a mentality in schools that teaches self-defense needed when terror or mass shootings strike. We must make our soft targets harder through security, barriers, and most of all, mentality. We have to think differently. I say this, by the way, not to judge others' responses when it comes to terror. I have no idea how I might act. But regarding my own personal need to change my own behavior, as a citizen, I have to play a role in knowing how to stop something awful. The cops can't be everywhere, so it is up to all of us to be like that vendor in New York who stopped a car bombing in Times Square. We all have to be that person. The word would be vigilance, but I came up with a new word called villigance, which is vigilance in your village. I'm beginning to have second thoughts about that word. But the fact is, SWAT teams and the military, they burst into buildings knowing that one of their own might die. And the passengers on Flight 93, they did the same thing. They did it because they knew, ultimately, that was their only choice they had left. And they did it country, because it is the only choice we have left. That was my monologue.
Okay, Greg, so one question related to the topic. As everyone knows, or I'm sure you must know, in the last 2 days, the media has been reporting that one of the terrorist attackers slipped his way in through the refugee flow coming from Eastern Europe and the Mideast. And Obama just said yesterday that we should not, quote, somehow start equating the issue of refugees with the issue of terrorism. And I just wanted to get your take on that, given that, according to the president, we should be obligated to take tens of thousands of such refugees.
It's always that reflex that he relies upon when something like this happens. However, that reflex is missing when it comes to gun crime. When there is an act of gun violence, it's not like he says, whoa, let's not go after all people with guns. He does the precise opposite. He becomes this strident superhero about gun control. But he doesn't have that same emotion and strength when it comes to terror control. Terror control to me is more important than gun control, because gun control generally targets people who are law-abiding citizens, and we are about targeting violent people who want to end our life. Look, I am for an open society and a strong border. The metaphor that I always use is, when you can't sneak into Disneyland. I've tried. I try to tell them that I'm like one of the employees at It's a Small World. But I'm too short. But you can't sneak into Disneyland. There's a gate. There are walls. You can't get in. America is the Earth's Disneyland. Everybody wants to come to this magical kingdom, and who can blame them? I mean, I'm lucky that I was born here. If I was born in Pakistan or Syria, or hell, Canada, and I love Canada. I love Canada. What I'm saying is, I don't blame people for wanting to come here, but that does not make us force us to relinquish any responsibility about our security, about looking at the people that are coming here. You could have both. The greatest people in this country come from other places, and some of the worst people in the world are born here. Let's face it. I would like to trade a few. Trying to think offhand how many people we could get for Keith Olbermann. But anyway, my point is, the border for us is just like a fence around Disneyland. It just makes perfect sense. If there are people that are climbing the fence to get in, you find them, you find a way, you look at it, you figure it out. It's obviously more difficult than that. But you have a process. And without
those comps pull up.